Confronting the Enemy. Here we go. We're going to the Old Testament. We're going to the Old Testament. Some of the best movies are in the Old Testament, buddy. I'm telling you. Living color. Some incredible stories. Absalom, listen to me now, hang in here with me, is King David's son. And Absalom, his own son, conspires to overthrow his father and his kingdom. That's bad. Amen? Let's look at it. And Absalom sent for Ahithophel, the Gilonite, David's counselors from his city, even from Gilo, while he offered sacrifices, and the conspiracy was strong. For the people increased continually with who? Absalom, and not King David. So his son is conspiring to overthrow his own father's kingdom. And there came a messenger to David saying, the hearts of the men of Israel are after who? Absalom. And David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, arise, let us flee, for we shall not else escape from who? Absalom. And Absalom's his what? Son. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly and bring evil upon us and smite the city with the edge of the sword. And Absalom and all the people, the men of Israel, they came to Jerusalem, and Ahithophel was with him. And it came to pass when Hushai the Archite, David's friend, was come to Absalom, that Hushai said unto Absalom, God save the king, God save the king. And Absalom said to Hushai, is this thy kindness to thy friend? Why wentest thou not with your friend King David? Why are you here saying, God save the king to me, when you were such a good friend of the king? And Hushai said unto Absalom, no. So politically expedient. Here we go. But whom the Lord and this people and all the men of Israel choose, his will I be. And with him will I abide. And again, whom shall I serve? Should I not serve in the presence of his son, as I've served in your father's presence? So will I be in thy presence. Have you gone to sleep on me yet? Stay with me. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, give counsel among you what we shall do. And Ahithophel, his counselor, said unto Absalom, and who's Absalom? David's son. He's conspiring to take over the what? His father's kingdom. Go in unto your father's concubines. Ahithophel gives him advice. There's music playing. Stop it. Here we go. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, go in unto thy father's concubines, women, which he hath left to keep his house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art abhorred of your father. Then shall the hands of all that are with you be strong. So they spread Absalom a tent upon the top of a house, and Absalom went in unto his father's what? Women, in the sight of all of Israel. This is just getting nasty, ain't it? It's like R-rated. What kind of movie are you going to? Hang on, are y'all okay? So do you get the picture what's happening here? Looks like Absalom's about done it. Looks like he's about taking over his father's kingdom, and David is fleeing. You understand, people? What's this got to do with me? You ever seen a movie, and after the movie was over, you thought about yourself? You ever saw yourself inside of a movie? Say, well, you keep hanging in there. You just might be in this. And so Absalom made Amasa, or Amasa. We're going to call him Amasa. It's really important that you hear this name. So Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab. He basically made Amasa general instead of Joab. That was David's general. Which Amasa was a man's son whose name was Ithra, an Israelite, that went into Abigail, the daughter of Nahash, sister of Zeruiah, Joab's mother. So basically, he was this guy's cousin. Okay? Amasa. Say this with me. It's really important if you're going to understand the movie. Amasa. Say it with me. Amasa. 5 times. Amasa, 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 Amasa. He is Absalom's what? Absalom's taken over now. Who's the general? Amasa. Is Joab, David's general, the general? Who's the general? Amasa. Keep listening. And the king commanded Joab. Now this is David, King David. King David commands Joab. Who's Joab? David's who? General. So David commands Joab and Abishai, that's his brother, and Ittai, saying, deal gently for my sake with the young man, even with who? And all the people heard when the king gave the captain's charge concerning Absalom. Okay, I know you're my general. We got to deal with this situation. The kingdom's lost, seemingly. But when you get to him, deal what with him? Say Joab. 4 more times. Joab, 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 Joab. Who is Joab? He's who? David's general. Who's Absalom's general? Amasa. Let's say Amasa. Okay? Are you all right? Don't you wish you had people to go to the movies with you that could explain movies as you're watching them sometime? I'm terrible to watch a movie with. I'm talking the whole time. What did he say? When we eating. Here we go. Come on. Are you all right? Hang in here. So the people went out into the field against Israel, and the battle was in the woods of Ephraim. The battle's going to now happen between the king and his conspirator's son. Where the people of Israel were slain before the servants of David, and there was there a great slaughter that day. Say it with me. How many were killed that day? 20,000 men. It's incredible. All the blood that was shed. For the battle was there scattered over the face of the whole country, and the woods that day devoured more people than the sword devoured. Incredible battle. Keep looking. And Absalom met the servants of David. Are we ready? Did we miss something? Huh? Okay, here we go. Let's don't miss part of the movie, brother. We have to rewind the film. So here's what's happening. There's a battle going on. Absalom, his army against David's army. Who's Absalom's general? Amasa. Who's David's general? Don't forget that. And Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule. So here's the son riding on a mule with the troops. And the mule went under the thick boughs of a great oak tree. This is great in any movie. And his head got caught up in the oak. That's what he gets for having all that hair. Okay? I'm serious. Good. So here he is. Whoop! And he was taken up between heaven and earth, and the mule that was under him went away. And a certain man saw it. One of the soldiers from the other side, David's side, Joab's side, saw Absalom hanging there in the oak. And he told who? David's who? Keep going. There he is. There he is. Now, what did David tell him to do when he found his son? Deal how with him? Does that sound like something a general would do? When 20,000 men were laying dead on the battlefield? Say. Then said Joab, I may not tarry thus with thee, talking to the fellow that told him this stuff. And he took 3 darts. Say 3 darts. 3 darts. In his hand. And he thrust them through the heart of Absalom while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak tree. Fellas, you like this movie, don't you? So now word gets back to the king. King who? Because the son is what? Dead as a hammer. So the king got the news that his son was dead, and he covered his face. And the king cried with a loud voice, oh, my son Absalom! Oh, Absalom, my son, my son! pleased. And Joab is who? David's what? He comes into the house where David is. Hears him crying. And Joab comes to the king and says, "You've shamed us this day." Joab talking to the king. "In the faces of all your servants and your soldiers, which this day have saved your life, and the lives of your sons, and the lives of your daughters, and the lives of your wives, and the lives of your concubines." Listen. "And thou that you love your enemies, seems like you hate your friends. For you've declared this day that thou regard neither princes nor servants. For this day I perceive that if Absalom had lived and we all would have died, you would have been pleased." Does it sound like something you would say if you were the general to your king? I would. I would. Are you kidding me? Say it. It's conspiracy. My men are dead on the battlefield. Your kingdom's overthrown. You expect me to go out there and just pat him on top of the head or something like that? It ain't happening. Three darts right through the heart. That's what happened. Okay? Because the king wasn't in his right mind, really, was he? Say. Not really. And all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, "The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies. He delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines." That was true. "And now he's fled out of the land for Absalom." And so now there's a problem. All those people that were following Absalom are now having a problem because now David is really the what? And he's the only what? King. So there's a problem. Have y'all gone to sleep on me yet? "And Absalom, who we anointed over us, he's dead. Now therefore, why speak ye not a word of bringing the king back?" We need to talk now that we've taken this thing over and he's dead. We need to really talk here about bringing King David back. You understand? Because their rear end's about to be in the noose if they don't. You understand? "And King David sent to Zadok to Abiathar the priest, saying, Speak unto the elders of Judah, saying, Why are you the last to bring the king back to his house?" So David sends word to them. "Seeing the speech of all of Israel has come to the king, even to this house. You're without a king. I know you're talking about bringing me back. It's probably about high time it happens." You understand? "You're my brethren," David says. "You're my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are you the last to bring me back?" Uh-oh. "And say ye to who?" Amasa. Say it with me. Amasa. He's who? Absalom's who? Is Absalom dead? Okay, I was getting popcorn. Are you all right? So the king sends word and says, "Say to who?" Amasa, who is who? Absalom's. So send word to Amasa. "Art thou not my bone?" David says through a courier. "And of my flesh, God do so to me, and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before me continually in the room or in the place of who?" Did you catch that? King David is going to make Absalom's general his own what? In the place of who? And Joab's been with David for years. Joab has been his lead general. Joab has helped him so much his whole life. And he's making the son's general who killed his own men his own what? General. Are y'all listening? Did the movie just take a twist, or was I missing something here? What? What just happened? Here we go. So Amasa is what? Promoted, and Joab is what? You got to know this. The message is almost here. Come on. Don't quit. Listen, one more time. Amasa is what? Promoted to David's what? And Joab is what? Demoted. Even though Joab did the right thing. He did the right thing in taking out that guy. That's what generals do, by the way. Okay? Get ready for the message. You've waited all this time. Are you ready? Now let's take a poll real quick. And don't be overly spiritual here. How many would say, Pastor, I don't know what's about to happen? Can I see your hand? I have no idea what's about to happen. How many would say, I do know what's about to happen? Let me see your hand. There's just a few of us in the room. Shh, hush, don't, you've been to the movie before. Shh. Here we go. And there happened to be there a man of Belial, or of the devil, whose name was Sheba. He was the son of Bichri, a Benjaminite. And he blew a trumpet. And he said, we have no part in David, neither have we an inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to his tents, O Israel. So here's another uprising that's taking place now with a guy named Sheba. Listen, don't go to sleep on me. So what's David going to do with this new uprising? Then said the king to his general Amasa, assemble the men of Judah within 3 days, and be thou here present. So Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah. But read this last part with me. But he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him. So he's hired this new general to go take care of this sucker that's going to try to have another uprising. He gives him 3 days, and he ain't there on time. This don't seem like it's working out too good, does it? This new general stuff. So David said to Abishai, Joab's brother, who's been fighting by his side for a long time. He's a faithful man, a faithful soldier. He says to Abishai, David speaking, now shall Sheba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom. Take thou your Lord's servants, pursue after him, lest he get him fenced cities, and he escape us. And there went out after him, after Abishai, guess whose men followed? Joab's men. Men who had been faithful to Joab, they'd fought together. They're going out to get who? Sheba. They're listening to the king because the other general ain't doing his job. Is that correct, church? So the Cherethites, the Pelethites, and all the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri. Now, don't lose it. Let me tell you. 13's the last verse we're going to read. You're close. But I've got to go to the bathroom. You better stay. Here we go. When they were at the great stone, which is Gibeon, Amasa. Who is he? Whose general is he now? David's general. He goes before them. Before who? Before Abishai. And by the way, guess who's with Abishai? Take a wild guess. Joab. So they meet in the highway. They meet in the road. Say that with me. They meet in the road. One more time. They meet in the road. Come on, church. They meet in the road. They've got the same purpose. They're going to get Sheba. So when they were there at the great stone, which is Gibeon, Amasa went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on himself, this is speaking of Joab, Joab himself was there, and the garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it was a girdle, something that fastened, he could hold his sword or dagger in. It was fastened upon his loins, and the sheath thereof as he went forth, it fell out. I've read several translations here. It didn't really fall out. Joab had this garment on as he gets off to meet Amasa, and he slips his dagger out. So he looks what? Daggerless. General Joab looks what? Daggerless. When you're watching the movie, sometimes do you miss things? You're like, did he just pull out his knife? I didn't see it, did you? And Joab meets Amasa. Do you think Joab might have a little problem with this sucker, yes or no? The enemy general who's now got his what? Job. And here's what Joab says. Are you in help, my brother? And Joab took Amasa by the beard. This ain't pulling his beard. I guess it's some kind of maybe Jewish thing or some Hebrew thing where they take the beard and they like, oh. I'm glad we don't do that. I want to go, yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Anyway, keep going. Sorry. So he took Amasa by the beard with his right hand to kiss him. But Amasa took no heed to the what? Dagger that was in Joab's hand. So Joab smote Amasa therewith in the fifth what? And he shed out his bowels, guts. He went to the ground, and he did not strike him again. One blow was enough. And Amasa what? Died. So Joab and Abishai, his brother, then did what? Got on their horses and went after who? Now wait a minute. The message is almost here. I know I'm going to be a little late. You're going to be. How many want to just leave the movie now? Don't you do it. And one of Joab's men stood by Amasa and said, he that favors Joab and he that's for David, let him go with Joab. So he tells all the other troops, follow Joab. And Amasa did what? Say it with me. Amasa wallowed in blood in the middle of the highway. Say that with me. And Amasa wallowed in blood in the middle of the highway. Come on, church. And Amasa wallowed in blood in the middle of the road. And Amasa wallowed in blood in the middle of the road. He said, you that are going to go with Joab, follow. But wait a minute. When the man saw that all the soldiers did what? Nobody's moving. Or if they are moving, they're moving really slow. Oh my God. And so that man removed the body of who? Amasa out of the what? Road. And he pulled him over into the what? Ditch. And he cast a what over him? A cloak. When he saw that everyone that came by him did what? Stood still. Read this verse with me. Very important. And when he was removed out of the highway, say it with me. And when he was removed out of the highway, all the people, say it with me, went on. One more time. All the people did what? Went on. One more time. All the people did what? Went on. After Joab to pursue after Sheba, the son of Bichri, the message is over. Now what did I learn? Here we go. Do not leave before you learn. Here we go. Pop it up, Raj. What's this got to do with me confronting my enemy, Pastor? How many saw yourself in the story a little bit already? You're slow. Number one, if you want to confront the enemy, here's what you do. Pop it up. I got to kill it. That thing, that inner conflict inside of you that's killing you, you got to kill it. Did you hear me today? Yes or no? You got to kill it. Okay? Render it what? Dead. Joab got off. He took that dagger. Make no bones about it. Amasa was the enemy. He was the enemy. Do you hear me? Yes or no? He was the enemy. I'm not talking about him now. I'm talking about you and me. That thing inside of you. That inner conflict. That struggle that you have. You've got to know that the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But Jesus Christ has come that I can have life. And I can have it more abundantly. But it's going to take something on my part. I've got to see that thing in my life, and I have got to render it what? The Bible says, I'm a new creature in Christ, the Bible says. Old things are what? Passed away. Behold, all things are become what? New. The old man is dead. I still fight the flesh, but I have the ability now to kill things in my life that's killing me. Do you hear me or not? You all right with me so far? Instead of that thing killing me, I'm killing what? Do you know people, they live their whole life. They live after pain and difficulty and struggle in their life. They let that thing be the thing that dictates their life, and it's their life from then on. Do y'all know people like that, yes or no? That's not the life for the child of God. That's a fairy tale life. Everything's just got to be good for you or whatever without pain for you to live a happy life. That's bull. Kill it! Are you hearing me today? Render it powerless and dead in your life. Have I lost you? Number 2, I got to quit it. Say that with me. I got to quit it. Come on, I got to what? I'm talking about dealing with inner conflict. Stop what? Looking at it. Well, this happened to me. This hurt me. This struggle. You got to quit what? Rubbernecking slows me down and causes a jam up inside of me. It does, man. When you look at stuff that's painful or a problem or struggling, it's been in your life, and instead of killing it and moving on, you want to keep pulling it out and doing what with it? Looking at it. And you're paralyzed what? Emotionally. I don't know if you're getting anything out of the movie or not. You got to quit it. Number 3. Say it with me. I got to what? Drag it. That thing, whatever that thing is, I got to drag it. I got to get it off the road, and I got to do what with it? I got to cover it up. Hey, listen to me. I got to stop talking about it. Okay? I get it off the road, got to cover it up. Now, you know I'm here in living color. So many of you know my struggle in my life because it's been made public. My struggle. But I tell you what, friend, I'm moving on. Okay, now listen, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I appreciate it. Listen. It's okay. Listen. This is really not just about, it's about you. Okay? If I don't, I'm useless. And I'm not going to have the power of God in my life that He can't have in my life. Y'all listening to me or not? Okay? And there's no difference between me and you. Same holds true of whatever that thing could be in your life. Are you listening, or have I lost you? So I got to drag it. It's gone, and I'm moving on. Say that with me. It's gone, and I'm moving. And some of you, you're so still dealing with that thing inside of you that you probably can't even hardly say that. But I'm going to make you do it anyway. Here we go. We're going to do it loud. Here we go. It's gone, and I'm moving on. One more time. It's gone, and I'm moving on. One more time so I can just tick you off. One more time. It's gone, and I'm moving on. Got it? Because guess what? The soldiers couldn't go follow Joab till the man moved it out of the road and put it in the ditch and covered it up. You listening? You got to quit trying to resurrect something that's dead in your life. Really, it's dead as far as it's killing you. Has no hope for you, no future for you. You think that's your path. You think that's, and you keep striving. I see that in relationships with people all the time. They still think that person in their life that's been passed in their life that's treated them like crap, that's hurt them terribly. They think, well, that's the only person I can be happy with. They keep trying to resurrect a dead relationship like a lunatic. Are you hearing me? Say it. And then they try to use Bible verses to prove it like a lunatic again. You listening or not? And number 4, I got to what? I got to know it. Listen, when I passed by on the other side, there's open road ahead of me. You've got to know that as you're confronting this enemy. You've got to know that when I pass by it and I've covered it up and I'm moving on, listen, you've got to go ahead and know it. My gosh, You got to believe like that. Are you hearing me, church? And here's what you're going to see. That pain, that struggle, that thing that was holding you back, that was killing you. The thief comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. I'm come that you might have life and might have it more abundantly. You're going to see it was not as big as the enemy had led you to believe. You're going to see a new life and a new strength come up inside of you, and you didn't think you could do that, but you're going to be surprised. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You understand? But the enemy is still telling you Pastor Clark's full of bull up there on the stage, and you can't do it. And he's right. I can't do it for you. But you can do it. You hearing me today? Let's look. Say it with me loud. We're done. The movie's over. The things are playing now. The name's on the screen, all that stuff. Here we go. Kill it, quit it, drag it, know it. Kill it, quit it, drag it, know it. I'm not done. Render it. One more time. Render it. One more time. Render it. Number 2, know. Know what? Say it with me. It's gone, 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 and I'm moving on. Say it with me. Open road ahead. Confronting the enemy. What a great movie. Didn't you like the movie? Not the preaching, the movie. What a great movie. Did you survive or not?
Fellowship meets every Sunday morning at the beautiful Lemon Bay Performing Arts Center, located on the campus of Lemon Bay High School at 2201 Placida Road in Inglewood, Florida. Our early worship service begins at 9 a.m. and the main worship service begins at 10:30 a.m. Between these two worship services, we offer gourmet coffee, fresh juices, pastries, and lots of fellowship free of charge in our hospitality center. If you're looking for a church in the Inglewood area or would like to just pay us a visit, we would love to fellowship with you. For more information, give us a call at 941-475-7447 or log on to fellowshipinglewood.com. For Pastor Garry Clark and all of us at Fellowship, God bless you.